Hey guys, it's about time to introduce our speaker and get started today. And it's my pleasure to introduce John Reinhold. He's been a friend of mine for a couple of years now. He's one of our own, one of the F.U.E.L guys, at least half the year. And John has a heck of a resume, but he's also just a good man with a good heart and has a really unique speaking style that will keep your attention. So let's welcome John.
Before I start, anybody recollect the name Lorena Ballot?
Yep.
I noticed a couple were going like that. I don't know if you heard the sequel of what's happened in her life. Anybody?
No.
Both of those individuals, she and her husband came to the Lord separately, got back together and got remarried.
Oh,
boy. Yep. And they're up at First Baptist over there in Fairfax, Virginia. And they're both teaching Sunday school classes. She's teaching Acts and he's teaching 2 Peter.
You opened with your best.
You got nowhere to go but down for that. That was awesome.
My Presbyterian pastor son-in-law told me that, and I apologize. Yeah, I'm going to pull this out here. Each one of us are in one of these 4 schools of philosophy, whether we knew it or not. The black ball here represents matter, and the white would be mind. So the first one is an epiphenomenalist, to put it simply, and he believes, or she believes, that the fundamental reality of the universe is matter, and mind is a phenomenon of matter. In other words, mind is a projection, okay, of the mechanism of matter. It's there because of the electromechanical, chemical action of the brain, okay, is a phenomenon of matter working. But it does not exist as a thing in itself. The second one, psychical monism, is that mind is the fundamental reality of the universe, and matter is a projection of the mind. Matter does not exist as a thing in itself. Does anybody know, other than having 5 husbands, what Mary Baker Eddy was known for? She was the founder of Christian Scientism. We know what that is? Christian Scientists. Christian Scientists only have 2 problems. They aren't Christian and they aren't scientists. Other than that, not bad. Yeah, they don't believe that matter exists. It's a projection of your mind. When they become ill, a Christian Science reader will come over to your house and read you about positive things and so forth until your physical condition goes away. Also, some schools like the Mahayana school of Buddhism and Hinduism, the reality of matter is non-existent. Mind is the fundamental reality of the universe. The parallelist believes that mind exists and that matter exists, but never the twain shall meet. There are 2 realities that exist as things in themselves, but the 2 realities don't intertwine. And then you have down here the interactionist. He believes that mind exists and matter exists, and they are intercorrelated. Or one could say a theistic view would be by an unknown, which could be God. Now, an atheist has got to be here. He believes in the empirical world, a world like can touch, feel, taste, measure. And mind is a phenomenon of matter functioning. Okay? Any questions so far? We ready for the quiz? All right. Now, my chat with you is to look superficially at the intricacies of creation. You have this massive intelligence that we can't comprehend that engineered the whole system. We believe that as theists, believers in God. We cannot even approach the infinite intellect that's involved here. Now, I just want to give you an Augenblick. In German, it's a flash, a twinkling of an eye look at some of the intricacies of this massive intelligence at work. The body has 30 to 100 trillion cells in a human body. Now, to count that high, if you started counting right now, it'd take you 3 million years to count to that number. Anybody want to start? You can pass it on to the next generation. All cells, every cell in your body, all those trillions of cells are connected by microcapillaries. They're a tube that is 5 times thinner than a human hair, up to 5 times thinner, that connect every single cell in your body. And it feeds that cell through blood coming through it. It feeds that cell with nutrients and oxygen, and then carries the waste products away from that cell back around through the circulatory system, where it unloads it as you exhale and you inhale oxygen, and it regenerates that cell and puts it through the human body again. It takes 1 minute for the whole cycle to take place. Now, these microcapillaries make up 74% of your entire circulation system. We usually think about circulation as being, okay, we've got the heart, we have arteries, we have veins, okay, but the capillaries make up the massive part, 2/3 of the circulatory system. All right, so here you have this system, 74% of your circulation being these microcapillaries, and if connected end to end in one human body, if connected end to end, these microcapillaries would stretch 2.5 times around the planet Earth. You believe that? 2.5 times around one human body. What kind of engineering, biochemical engineering, can we even start to comprehend that? Every cell in your body is a battery. It receives a charge, it gives off a positive or negative charge. Every cell in your body can think and communicates with all the other cells. You gouge out a little flesh in your body, and when that rejuvenates, okay, and comes back, one cell says to the other, don't grow beyond this surface. So instead of having this thing rejuvenate, the flesh feeling, the new flesh coming through and being a big bump like that, the cell is stop at this point. So one talks to the other. You have 100 billion neurons in your body. Neurons communicate with each other at speeds of up to 268 miles an hour. Okay, you're out in the Bonneville Salt Flats, and you're barreling down in the Bonneville Salt Flats at 100 miles an hour. You press down the accelerator, you get to 150. You press it on down, you get to 200, 250, 268 miles an hour. How long does it take to pass the length of the human body? That's how fast neurons communicate. You step on something sharp and it sends a message to your brain, you just stepped on something sharp. A communication system that's inconceivably put together and could never ever be duplicated by a member of the human race. It's massive. Each one communicating in its surrounding and all the way to the end. Heart beats 100,000 beats a day. Okay, put your fist up right there. That's the size of your heart right there. That's your pump. 100,000 times a day, 36 million times in a year, 3.5 billion times in a lifetime. 6 quarts of blood a minute is pumped by that thing the size of your fist. 83 gallons an hour, pumps 2,000 gallons a day. Takes 1 minute for one red cell to circulate through your body. 23 million gallons in a lifetime. That would be taking gallon jugs side by side and going from New York to LA back to New York is the amount of blood that's pumped by that thing the size of your fist. The brain with a full shot of adrenaline is capable of functioning at speeds that are inconceivable. At one is to, well, a mini nanosecond. 1 second is to 1 mini nanosecond, is 1 mini nanosecond is to 30 years. So I could take a pistol right now and fire it into your heart, okay, and your mind is still going to be functioning, but it's going to be a full load of adrenaline, believe me, going through your brain, and your brain can contemplate everything that's happened in your lifetime in those few moments before you check out. That means that you might have lived like hell on wheels your whole life, but in those few mini nanoseconds, you reviewed the claims of Christ that somebody presented to you, and you responded positively. Are there going to be some prizes in the next system? You bet there will be. In the circulatory system, your heart does not have strength to pump blood into every cell through your microcirculation system. So the Creator put into motion a thing called vasomotion. How many here have ever milked a cow? Okay, you know you got to start from the top and you got to squeeze down, don't you? Okay. Same thing happens in your capillaries. It's doing this and pushing the blood forward. If it's operating optimally, it's moving blood to every cell in your body through the microcapillaries. So with that motion, augmenting the ejection fraction in your heart, okay, oxygen and nutrients are reaching the cellular level, and the waste products are being carried away. Very, very important. The CO2 and all the other waste products have to move around, come back through, and that cell gets regenerated. Are you getting the idea that this is awesome? How is it possible? How is it possible, beyond our wildest dreams, for the whole thing to get set up? And then that phenomenalist is going to say, well, you know, it's just a freak of arithmetic probability. Your immune system is capable, if operating the way it should function, it was created to function, is capable of taking down anything that attacks you. Whatever it is, cancer, the whole bit. But we torpedo the immune system by things that we do. It's torpedoed by the environment, it's torpedoed by lack of nutrients. So diet, hydration, exercise, heredity, stress, Medi-Share, which many of you know I was involved with getting off the ground. We did a study 6 or 8 years into our program because we suspected that we had a segment of our constituency that rarely sent us medical bills. We were wondering if there was a common thread through that group. Anybody want to guess that there was in fact a segment that we rarely heard from? They didn't get 7 of the 10 major cancers killing other people. Kidney and liver function was non-existent. Maladies. Anybody want to guess what the area of commonality was?
Vegetarian?
Christians?
Who said that?
Vegetarian.
Yeah. They were all Seventh-day Adventists. They were vegetarians. Almost all of them. No animal products. Which got us thinking. You feel guilty now about what you did? Yeah. But if that's operating optimally, anything that comes at you, it's going to be taken care of. And we got the white cells in that circulation system bumping along the walls of those arteries and capillaries looking for bad guys all the time. Oh, that's a cancer cell. By the way, you have 10 to 20 trillion bacteria cells in your body right now. And you could not live unless you had bacteria in your body. That's why you never want to use soap and so forth that kills all the bacteria. You don't want the bad kind. But the good kind, you have to have to function. If it's not functioning properly in your gut, you got a major problem going on. And if you go through a course of antibiotics, it takes you about 3 to 4 months to rebuild any kind of worthwhile flora in your bowel. And some people say, well, I take yogurt. Well, as soon as yogurt hits the acid bath in your body, it kills all that bacteria, so that doesn't help a bit. Anyway, here's my point. Psalm 139:14. I give thanks to you, for I am fearfully and wonderfully made. Wonderful are your works, and my soul knows it well. Written 3,000 years before the invention of a microscope. So their view, the psalmist's view, was very superficial compared to what I just gave you. Multiply that entire plant kingdom, the animal kingdom, the insect kingdom, and the microscopic kingdom. This massive, massive intelligence. Forgive us, Lord, if we think we can sit down and play chess against that kind of intelligence and say, I can outmove you and win this game. Is that stupid? How many of us are guilty of it? Like the song says, I'm going to do it my way. How dumb is that? When I have this, I can cast all my cares upon this massive, incredible, unfathomable intelligence, because I know He cares for me.
Amen.
We have that to rely on. Back up here, something not considered throughout this is that there is a realm that exists that none of us sees. Right? If we could see the spiritual realm in this room right now, okay? If it was in this room right now where we could identify it, what would we see? Would we see demonic forces trying to veer us off the path?
Yes.
Get us off the center line? Okay? Oh, you don't need that friendship? You know, don't go there, don't listen to that. What would we see? Because we've got Star Wars going on right here in this room that we don't see. And how do we know that in scripturally? What's the verse? We wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities and powers of darkness. And that's a reality that scopes this whole thing. No matter where you are here, that's a reality that exists. So with that in mind, hopefully a new appreciation of what we worship, how we think about who we worship. I'm going to close this in prayer. Father, forgive us for not trusting in you. Forgive us for second guessing your judgment. Forgive our stupidity. When we come to life's bifurcations, may we rest in casting all our cares on you, for we know you care for us. We look forward to the awesome homecoming you prepared for us. We can't fathom your intelligence. As you exist in the ever-present, give us strength to work through time victoriously so we may enter your realm, bringing as many with us as possible. And we transmit this message to you through our only intercessor, your Son, and by grace, our Savior, Yeshua ben David. Amen.
Amen.
Thanks, guys.
Amen.